everyone. Today's art lesson will be inspired by Dr. Seuss. We're going to be creating some winter scenes that involve really fun houses to draw and Christmas decorations and snow. I was really inspired by Dr. Seuss. We all know about Dr. Seuss and the Grinch and Whoville, and hopefully you know these books that I'm talking about. I just thought that this would be so much fun for you. Here's one that I have not colored, but this one is colored, all ready to go with bright Christmas colors and some snow made with cotton balls for the tops of the houses. All right, so let's talk about different ways to draw these houses in Whoville. There's really no wrong or right way to do this. So let's just get started with some different types of houses. And then we'll add in decorations later. First, I want to start with a plain white piece of paper. I've got my pencil and eraser and Sharpie nearby. I'm going to create this horizon line near the bottom of my paper, and then I will make my houses come a little bit lower than that. All right, so here's house number 1, and I can go back and I will need to erase this part later, but at least I know where the ground is. I'm going to start with, the house will not be straight. The roof line will be curved. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do this. And this is where I would really like for you guys to use your imagination. It would almost be great if yours didn't look like mine, if yours was all on your own. All right, so here's where I can place my door. And now I don't need this anymore, so I can erase. That's why I need to draw soft pencil lines so it will be easy to erase later. I'll add some windows and then I'll be ready to move on to the next house, and possibly a chimney. I can add that chimney there. Here's a little space for a circular window and 2 more windows. And I think I'll add a frame around these. I'm just going to keep in mind that I will have to go back over everything later and trace it with Sharpie so that everything will be nice and bold and will hopefully look like it's come out of a Dr. Seuss book. All right, so here is my first house. I'm going to go to the middle of my paper now. Hopefully you're already planning out how the rest of your scene is going to look. I'm going to come a little bit below this line once again and go up. And then this one's just going to be really crazy. All right, everything from here on out should look very whimsical and almost like it's from a storybook, because we know that these do come from a book. And I looked at different scenes. I just decided to Google how the Grinch stole Christmas last night, and that might help you search for images that way. And you can see that the Who's down in Whoville went all out with their Christmas decorations, and so they're going to have wreaths on their doors and presents everywhere. All right, so that might be helpful to you. As I had windows, I need to know where the bottom of my house will be, and I need to know where to erase here. And then I'm going to add in a door that's different from the first. None of these houses should look the same. All right, so now I want to create a little bit of a 3D effect. I'm going to show you just a few simple things to make this look a little bit more like it has depth and the illusion of space. this house, since it's curving over to the right, I'm going to add this. I'm going to stop just before I get to the bottom of the house, and I'm going to draw a line going back into space. And then once I add this, I think you'll see where I'm going with this technique. This will be short, straight lines that are fairly close together, that go all the way up to the top to add a little bit of a shadow there. Same thing here. So now you can just imagine that these windows are opened up and you can see inside them. And this house has depth. So it'll look much better when it has Sharpie, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you with pencil. Probably should have waited until I had my Sharpie out to do that. Would have saved me some time. Okay. So if you want that house to have a chimney, go ahead and add one. I'm going to make this one look like it's going back into space as well. All right, so basically just make it look like, looks a little bit like a cube. So 2 lines going out. And then connect everything in the back. All right, let's go on to house number 3. All right, this one could be shaped kind of like an oval, since all the other houses thus far have been not so rounded out. Well, it's a little rounded out there. This door is also going to be new and fun and a little more rounded out. I'm going to add one more of those windows that looks as if you could just peek right inside by adding these lines. Okay, so a curved line on the side and then a right angle here with those straight lines that we were talking about that are, they're gonna have to be pretty close together. All right, maybe one more window and then we'll move on. I'm going to give this one a little bit more of a back to it as well, using that same technique. Okay, as I said before, I noticed that the Whoville town would have been decorated with Christmas lights and Christmas trees. You might want to add mailboxes at this point. You might want to add a sign that says "Welcome to Whoville." You might want to add some shrubs, some mountains in the background. Okay, so let's all take a look at this one. We know that the Grinch lives somewhere back in these mountains in a cave. So that's why I've added these. I added snow tops to my mountains. And then I haven't glued this down yet, but I just noticed that these houses needed some snow. I didn't draw that in, so this would be very easy to use cotton balls at this time. Once it's colored and traced with Sharpie, and then a little bit of Elmer's glue to the tops of those houses, and then just add a little bit of a snow effect. Okay, let me show you one other thing that I found fun. Oh, and these were all over the town of Whoville in one of the scenes that I found from the movie, the first movie, the old Grinch movie. Let me show you how to make this staircase here in the middle of my paper. This was really fun. And I just noticed that a lot of things are stacked. Like I looked in How the Grinch Stole Christmas inside the book itself, and there were presents stacked everywhere. So I thought that this house could maybe look like that. It almost looks like a wedding cake. But you could have stacks of things. You could also have these fun little plants. You could have those trees that remind me of the Lorax movie.